in Mr.
Folks
Woolard
in
to be the one
cyberspace,
to start.
we
On the
want to
economy,
welcome
our
you
general
to
question
our program. This
is the
is Focus
CDC
on
cleaning the
Liberia.
economic mess
Friday is usually
that
our
we
debate,
have
but
on our
today we
hands,
are
or is
having a
the
kind of
CDC
special
creating
with
more
a big
mess?
brother, that's journalist
Yeah,
Gibson
okay.
Jerue. We are
I don't
happy
know.
to have him. And
I
so,
will not
folks in
borrow your word
cyberspace,
on that
before we
one.
get to
So,
Mr. Jerue here quickly, we want
I
to
would
say
say,
again,
in terms of
welcome
the
and
economy
welcome. We
right
are live,
now,
as you
we
can
are
see, we
having
are
a
live
very
and we are live.
challenging
And
economic
it's a
situation
special
in
conversation
Liberia
with
as to what the
Mr.
CDC is doing right
Gibson
now to get
Jerue.
things
And
better.
as you have
I
joined
can tell
us,
you the
as
CDC
always,
is
we will
doing
ask you to
so
hit that
much to
share
turn
button
things around.
because he can
Because
prepare,
when
and
we
we
talk about
are
the
also set
economy, what
here.
most
And he
people
is
don't
facing
understand is when they hear
the
economy, they think
code
the
of
economy is
public
something like somebody will
opinion
just stand tomorrow
focus
and you
on
have
Liberia.
investors coming to
We will
start to
know
build
whether
factories
today
and
he
all
will
of
be
those
found
things.
guilty or
The
not guilty.
reality
And
remains,
so, folks,
I can tell
we
you
are
as
here
somebody
to
that is
go
working
into
in the
it.
automation sector,
Before I
even
go any
globally, there are a
further, I
lot
will welcome my
of
partner here, Mr. Jad. Mr. Jad,
industrial jobs and
we are
stuff like
here,
that
and Mr.
that
Gibson is
are not
Mr.
just
Juru is in the
easily
house.
possible in certain
Well,
areas
ladies and gentlemen, we
for
want
a
to
lot of
welcome you
reasons.
to this special
For
Friday
example,
night
like in the
debate.
case of
Our
Liberia,
guest,
Liberia being
Mr.
a very
Gibson Jerue,
small
that's the
polluted,
journalist and
less
host of
populated and
From the
stuff like that.
House's Mouth.
So,
We are here to hear from
and
his mouth
beyond that,
tonight.
we have a
Well,
high illiteracy
this
rate.
should
We
have been
have
a
unskilled labor pool.
head-to-head
We have
debate, but we couldn't reach
lack of
any.
electricity
The
and all of
terms
those
of the
things.
debate were not
So
determined.
what the
So,
CDC government
guess
is doing
what?
right
You are going to
now
be
is going to
debating
pave a
with
way for
Mr. Gibson
a
Jerue tonight. He's
sustainable
going to lay
economic
his
growth.
claims, his
What do I
charges
mean?
against
For
certain
example,
individuals in our
for
society
you to
and
have
talk on
economic
some
growth,
national
you have
issues.
to
We
have
want to welcome all
reliable
our
and
viewers
stable
from across the
electricity.
globe.
You have to have
My
a
name is
skilled
Dennis
labor
Jai,
force.
and we are
You have to
broadcasting
have
from
a
Atlanta,
good health
Georgia.
sector. You
At
have to
this
have
time, we
good
want to welcome
educational
our guest,
sector,
Mr. Gibson
good
Jerue.
vocational
Mr.
skill
Jerue,
sector, all
welcome
of
to
these things,
Focus on
which
Liberia.
Liberia
Thank you very
either
much.
don't
I
have
appreciate the
is
invitation,
is
and
is
I
is
I hope I'll
underperforming.
deliver.
So what is happening right now in Liberia is this government is doing
All right, all
everything
right. We
humanly
know
possible to
Mr.
address
Jiro
all of those
is going
gaps
to
that will lay the
deliver.
foundation
Mr.
for
Jiro does
real
not need any more
sustained
introduction.
economic growth. Now,
He has
focus in the
introduced
extractive
himself
industry that
over
we
and
have
over
been always
again
relying on for
on
many
his
years.
platform from the
So if you
house's
look at,
mouth.
for example,
And many of us have
we
read
have
his
right now
writing. And he
a
started something we
along with the
describe here as
Ministry
a
of Education, the
campaign,
Ministry of Youth and Sports
and
has
it is on the
sent out,
basis of
I
our
think, about
laws.
over
But some
60
people
or
don't see
70
it that way. They
Liberians
see it another
out of the
way.
country
And so we
who are
should have
going to be
had
free and come back
another
to
person with him to
provide
debate the issue, but
vocational
that
skill
could
for our
not be
people in different
possible. And so
areas,
he's
like in
here
the
to make
HVAC
his
area,
case
which is the air
in
conditioning
this code
area,
of public
and just
opinion
all of
or
those
focus
skills
on
that we need
Liberia.
in the
To
country to
get
grow.
started
And the
here
people inside
quickly,
in
we
Liberia
will
can
be
be able to
starting
harness the
with
skills. Those people are going
the
to come
issue
back. They have
of
some have gone to
citizenship.
Uganda,
Liberian
Kenya, and other
citizenship,
parts around
we know
Africa and the
for some
world to
reason,
get skills
many
training
people
to
think
come
is
back and become
debatable, whereas
instructor at
people
our
who
TVET
from
institutions across the country.
the area of
That is going
law
to what?
don't
Provide skills for
see it
Liberians
to
that
be
will give
debatable.
them
Mr.
assurance or
Juru
at least
is somebody
some
who
level
is
of
studying
security in
law,
the
so he
job
has
market.
unique knowledge, and he's a
The next
journalist
thing
as
is,
well. And he
if
believes
you look
that
right now, what
some
is
people,
happening in Liberia,
at some point in
we,
their
like I
lifetime,
said, to have
cease
economic growth, you need certain things,
to
right?
be a
In terms
Liberian
of
because of their
electricity,
family
right now, as
composition,
we speak,
merely
we
if
don't
your
have
parent
stable
or
and
your
reliable
father,
electricity
so to
in
speak,
Liberia. We
is
all know what is
a
happening. So, what is the
non-Negro
CDC
or
government
a
doing to make that
non-Liberian.
situation better? I think
Uh,
my focus really
it's
is on what
possible
the
that
CDC
at some
government
point in
doing.
your
I'm
lifetime you
not going
can
to
cease
focus
to
on anything
be
that has
a
happened in the
citizen
past.
of
What has
Liberia
happened has
when you
happened,
fail to
and
declare
Liberians
your Liberian
are interested
citizenship
in now what are
upon
we
reaching
doing to
the
make
age of
progress.
Yeah,
maturity.
so quickly
So
in
And
one
that is
minute,
something he
what
wants
is
to
the
talk
CDC
about.
government
And
Mr.
so,
doing
Jerue,
to
yeah.
make
check
the
your
economy
microphone. There
better?
seems to be
Quickly,
a
1 minute.
feedback.
yeah, so as we
So,
speak right now, we have a robust.
So,
I've been
ladies and
following the
gentlemen,
guys
we want
on
to say
the
welcome again.
CFSG
For
project,
some
which is the
time
Cote
now,
d'Ivoire,
you
Liberia,
have heard
Sierra
from
Leone,
Mr.
and
Gibson
Guinea
Jerue.
project. They
He
are
has been
expanding.
all over the internet
Today,
talking
if you look,
about
you will see they
questioning
are
the
being pushed
citizenship of
electricity,
certain
pushed being
natural-born
planted in
Liberians.
areas that it
In
will never
Mr.
before, like
Jerue's
Kakata,
opinion,
trying
those
to expand.
natural-born Liberians have lost their citizenship along the way. So we have Mr. Jerue in the hot seat tonight to know,
All right, Mr. Jad, thank you. I hope the issue you were talking about is resolved. I want to make sure that I'm being heard by our people here so that we can get this conversation started. And so, Mr. Jerue, without wasting any further time, so go start making your case. So, why do you have this belief so strongly that some Liberians are not like no sound? We go down. All right. So, Mr. Jerue, why do you hold that belief so much? Is this something based on law?
Okay, go ahead, Mr.
All right, Mr. Juro, I think they can hear me now. I want to believe they can hear me now. So make your case. Why you believe that some Liberians cease to being a Liberian at some point in your lifetime?
Thank you very much, and I'd like to appreciate the two of you. Very, very hardworking guys. When the thing started, you were not as popular as you are now, but I think you are one of the beacon of our diaspora media, bringing intellectuals together to debate issues. And I'm happy to be here tonight to face the public and tell them that the law in Liberia has been very magnanimous to some people, and they decided they will not respect the magnanimity of the law. The Constitution of Liberia, which is a 1986 Constitution, is an offshoot of the 1847 Constitution. And when a constitution is amended, the old copy of the Constitution no longer survives. It cannot make any impact on any legal matter. In law, we call that influential opinion document, but it does not in any way, shape, or form any decision-making process in the code of law. So the 1987 Constitution is no longer alive. So we are now focused on the 1986 Constitution. Okay. The 1847 Constitution, I'm sorry, is no longer alive, and we are now focused on the 1986 Constitution. And what did the 1986 Constitution say? The 1986 Constitution set the bedrock for Liberians who find themselves in a situation where they have to determine their citizenship because they have acquired two citizenship. Assuming if a man is from Lebanon, for example, okay, and he comes to Liberia and has a Liberian girlfriend or marries a Liberian woman, the moment a child is born, that child acquired two citizenship: the Lebanese citizenship, which of the father, and the Liberian citizenship of the mother. In the Liberian Constitution, the law is clear that when you reach the age of maturity, you need to make a decision as to whether you want to be with your father's citizenship or you want to be with your mother's citizenship. So Article 28 is our legal standing for making a decision. The Article 28 says any person, and I'm reading this slowly, any person at least one of whose parents was a citizen of Liberia at the time of the person's birth shall be a citizen of Liberia, provided. Now, a lot of people read a particular scripture, the particular provision, and just forget about the word provided. It's a condition. You remain a Liberian citizen if you are born of a Liberian parent and another parent from another country. You remain a citizen at birth, provided that any such person shall, upon reaching maturity, you can't be a baby and go and declare your citizenship. You can't be an infant and go declare your citizenship. You can't be a minor and declare your citizenship. You can't even be a child and go declare your citizenship. So the Constitution realizes that and said, when you reach the age of maturity, you should go to declare your citizenship. As such person reaching the age of maturity, renounce any citizenship acquired So what did the Constitution say about acquire? I just told you when you are born, you acquire two citizenship.
Okay.
You acquire Liberian citizenship as a value, as a fact that you're born of a Liberian parent. And you also acquire another citizenship from another country, the fact that you were born of that country's citizen.
Okay.
Because, for example, not certain people are citizens in our country. You have to go through a process to become citizen. So if a Lebanese man come, for example, or in the case a Portuguese man come to Liberia, you can't be citizen. Even a Guinean man come to Liberia, you are not citizen. You have to formalize your citizenship either by naturalization. So you have two citizenship. So the law said, hey, my friend, you have two citizenship here. You are Liberian, you are a Guinean, or you are a Portuguese. So you have a decision, but right now you are a child. So we consider you our citizen because you cannot make your own decision. But when you reach an age of maturity, you need to make a decision where you want to do. You want to renounce your other citizenship that you acquired from your father, who is a different citizen of another country, and declare your citizenship for Liberia. But this is a more important part of this particular provision. They say no citizen of the Republic shall be deprived of citizenship or nationality except provided by law. I like that particular part. And when you're reading these laws, these are the things you need to be careful with, because these exceptions are the ones that really give a lot of people a hard time to interpret. Don't stop the man. The man have two citizenship. And we are giving the man the opportunity when he becomes mature, he should decide to be a citizen of Liberia and renounce the other citizenship. No court should say, no, we cannot permit you. The law is clear. We can't deny the person becoming a Liberian citizen. But listen to the last part. The last part. He said, and no person shall be denied the right to change citizenship or nationality. So if the man become Liberian and he decide to not be Liberian again, shall we punish him because he doesn't want to be part of us anymore? The law said, no, you can't do that. But let me take you one more step, Sonny.
Okay.
In Article 27C, anybody who has a constitution, you can look there.
Yeah.
Article 27C is the mandate to the legislature to pass a law and prescribe the way people can reach maturity and what is the age of maturity that you can reach before you can make the decision. So Article 27C says, the legislature shall, adhering to the above standard, prescribe such other qualification criteria. How do you qualify to be able to decide you are a Liberian citizen? For the procedure by which naturalization may obtain. So the Constitution is aware that there are no details in the Constitution. I mean, obviously we know constitutions don't have more detail. That's why we have so many amendments, like the United States Constitution. They have 27 amendments because there is no details. So our Constitution also does not have details. They always give the basics. And then there are statutes that enhance Constitution. So we call those enhancing laws that are made to fulfill the mandate of the Constitution. So the Constitution mandated the legislature to go and pass a law that will enhance the Constitution. Pass a law, lawmakers, and tell us what would be the age for the person. We'll say age of maturity. What are we talking about? Is it 18-year-old? Is it 19-year-old? Is it 20 years old? Pass a law and tell the people what is that age of maturity. Now, Asuni, and I tell you, tell me if you say age of maturity, how do anybody know? Nobody knows. It's relative. Any court can say, no, it will be 18. You go to Supreme Court, and the man will be 19. Or another person can interpret and say 20. Another person can say, no, you got to be 35. That's when you are mature. So the law is aware that the reaching of age of maturity is ambiguous. It's ambiguous. So they get the responsibility in Article 27C that, hey, you lawmakers, we have a situation here. We want to determine who can be mature. What is a maturity age? So you go and pass a law and tell us what time the person is supposed to naturalize. Then it comes to the naturalization document. Let's go to Article 21. 21 of the naturalization law provides, let me see if I can just go there really quick here. The naturalization law provides, and why I'm talking, other people can go there really quick.
You are talking
if
about
they
the
can.
aliens and nationality law.
The aliens and nationality law.
All right.
It says.
Before you go there, Mr. Jerue.
Yes, sir.
Go there, we want to welcome our viewers from across the globe. This is Focus on Liberia. We are discussing Liberian citizenship. The basis of this discussion came about when Mr. Gibson Jerue has been on the internet stating that certain natural-born Liberian citizens have lost their citizenship by virtue of them being born of a foreign parent, did not renounce that citizenship upon reaching maturity. We at Focus on Liberia, we have no business telling who is or who is not a citizen, but we are in the business of giving people the platform to express what they want, and we bring you in, our audience, to cross-examine them along with us. So Mr. Gibson is here tonight to defend his claim that certain Liberians who were born of a foreign father and a Liberian mother in Liberia are no longer citizens of Liberia because they did not declare their intention upon reaching maturity. Keep your comments coming. We're going to get to them. We're going to open the phone lines in a little bit, but let's Mr. Jerue go ahead with his expose on why he thinks this. But Mr. Jerue, even before you go further, why are you doing this? What is your point? What's the point you're trying to make here? That certain Liberians are not Liberians. I mean, who are you to determine that, and why is it that you are carrying on this campaign?
Very good. And I like the question because that's the question most people ask. What is your motivation? If you remember, there was time, I think 2 weeks ago, when Mr. Costa went on his show and he went on ranting and ranting and ranting. And something he said that made me to pick up on it. I knew all along that Costa should have gone through all of this. I knew all along that he's supposed to go to the court and get his and do his oath of allegiance and get his citizenship certificate. I knew all along, but that wasn't really a problem for me until I saw him ranting and trying to say he would kill somebody, he feel like killing somebody, he hit the person so much. And then he said, natural born like me, you treat me the trash and gave other people opportunity. So I asked myself, who told you are natural born? Where did you get the idea from? So I wanted to set the record straight because we need to set the record straight. We need to hold people who hold other people's feet to the fire. We need to hold their feet to the fire. Who told Costa he's a natural born? Where did he get the idea from? He has an opportunity to decide whether he should be a Liberian. He has not done that yet.
He was born in Liberia to a Liberian mother, so he's a natural born.
The Constitution did not say if you were born in Liberia and you have one foreign parent and one Liberian parent, therefore you are natural born. You don't need to go through this. There's no law.
No, what I'm saying
the law says
the statute of being born in Liberia to a Liberian mother, you are a natural born Liberian.
There's no law in the Constitution for that. That you are reading the U.S. Constitution. If you are defining natural born on the basis of the U.S. Constitution, then I give in.
No.
But if you are defining natural born on the basis of what the Liberian law says, then I want to know where did the Constitution say?
Let me read that. Let me read
that. Go ahead.
Any person, at least one of whose parents was a citizen of Liberia at the time of the person's birth, shall be a citizen of Liberia.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are a child. You are a child. You are considered a citizen because you have not made a decision. Right. You cannot make a decision while you are a child. That doesn't make you a natural born.
No, so at that point, as a child, you are born naturally in Liberia. You are natural born.
Okay, let me flip it like this. So because that question is very important, I like the way you're sticking on it, and it will help to educate other people. So let's decide. Let's say 2 Guinean parents came here and born a child in Liberia, and the child born in Liberia, is that a natural born?
No, one of whose parents. The Constitution says one.
Okay,
at least one of whose parents.
But the natural born is not defined. You cannot ascribe to somebody what the law did not ascribe to them. It means you are running ahead of the law. When you go to the Supreme Court of Liberia right now, and the Supreme Court is asking you, where did you get that from? You will say, oh, because they say you're born in Liberia. Yeah, but I don't see natural born.
Okay. Mr. Jerue.
Can be born in Liberia.
Mr. Jerue.
Yeah.
Your argument is that
I wanted to go to prescription, but if you can go ahead.
Yeah, let me the issue of natural born. I have a few questions then. So your argument is that to be a natural born, both of your parents need to be Liberian. Is that correct?
The natural born is not ascribed in our constitution. Let's first of all get that straight.
So why are you raising it?
The Constitution does not tell us whether you are a natural born or you're not a natural born. The Constitution recognizes that you are born in the territorial confines of Liberia. But you have two parents. One of your parents is a Liberian, and one of your parents is an alien. But the Constitution also recognizes that at some point in time, you will lose your citizenship.
Okay.
When you reach the age and you do not declare your citizenship, the Constitution will not recognize you. It means you forfeit.
Before we get there, Mr. Jerue, what you are saying plainly is the issue natural born Liberian does not exist in the Constitution, period.
What I'm saying, in this particular context, the Constitution does not ascribe to you as a natural born. Because ascribing to you as a natural born, you don't need to declare your citizenship.
Okay, but if you're natural born, ascribe to anyone whatsoever has a natural born.
Well, I can't say here and say yes, because there are some constitutional issues that talk about natural activities, but it does not ascribe to anybody that if you are born here, you are a natural born. There's nowhere in the Constitution I have seen.
Mr. Jerue,
I'll be glad you show me.
Mr. Jerue, you are trying to give the impression that there is other Liberians who are not natural born. And that's why I asked the question earlier. If there are some Liberians who are not natural born, then tell me who can be natural born.
Okay. Let me give a scenario. Maybe that won't help us. Okay. Asuni and myself, we went to visit a guy. He has his house and said, Gibson, you and Anthony, you can own this house if you are able to sweep the living room 3 times a day. Then the house is yours. Gibson did not sweep the house 3 times a day. Anthony continued to do it 3 times a day, and he is giving the house. Does Gibson have ownership to that house? The answer will be no, because Gibson did not go by what the rule says. There are conditions that are set for you to be recognized by something. The law says, and the Constitution is clear, there is nothing that the Constitution says you are a natural born. It is your mind. It is your mind, your interpretation, your thinking. You're ascribing the word natural born to the person. So if you go to the court, you cannot defend that. When you tell the justice of the Supreme Court and say, I'm a natural born, and say, where you got that from?
All right.
Go low or right in the Constitution.
Mr. Ja, let's do the it's clear that his conclusion here is that the Constitution does not refer to anybody as natural born. Am I right?
Exactly. That particular scenario is not even there.
All right.
So you can't claim it.
Okay.
Then if you claim it, you'll be claiming it for yourself. That you can use the English word. Anybody can use the English word. They can infer, they can do anything, but there's no law that says you are natural born. And now to go to a further point, if the Constitution recognizes that you are natural born, then there should not be condition to you to make a decision at a certain point of your life to decide when you want to be a Liberian citizen or you want to be a Liberian citizen. Then there's issue of natural born should not be in play. Or I should be asking my law, why will you want me to go declare if you already say I'm a natural born?
With that, what you are trying to imply is Dennis Jabon, who both parents come from Sino County, born there, in as much as I don't have to declare, so that makes me a natural born?
If Dennis Jab parents come from Sano, both of them are born from Sano. Dennis Jab himself is born in Liberia. Dennis Jab, say you went to school, you know the word natural born, you can ascribe yourself as a natural born. But that is not in the law.
Okay.
That's not in the law.
Let's move on.
All right.
That's not in the law. So that's my point here, and that's my point I'm trying to. People continue to argue the man's a natural born. I want to see the law. I want to see the law that says if you are born in Liberia to a Liberian parent, you are a natural born. Then I know the law means that. But it's nothing like that. We are the one that are ascribing situation. So the law is clear. If you want to be a Liberian citizen, if you have 2 different parents, 2 nationality, they gave you a time of your age that you can declare. The time of the age is in the alien law is in 21.3, section 21.3, 2. Okay? It said no no person shall file a petition for naturalization unless he shall have attained the age of 21 years. So the law is clear. The law is saying, look, you know what? You are a Liberian citizen right now. You have a Liberian mother, you have a foreign mother, but you are a kid. So we can't say you're not a Liberian citizen because you have to make a decision at some time.
A foreign father. A foreign father, you mentioned.
You're a foreign father. You have a foreign father, you have a Liberian mother, but you can't tell you you're not a Liberian citizen because you have not made it. You haven't reached the point where you will make your own decision. But when you reach the age of 21, that's a condition. Don't pass 21 and tell us you are citizen. We are telling you now, right now, you are citizen. Even though you have a foreign father and a Liberian mother, right now you are citizen. But when you reach the age of 21, go to the court and tell the court and make a pledge of allegiance to Liberia and declare your citizenship to Liberia at the age of 21.
Yeah.
So if you miss the age of 21, you renege on your responsibility.
Right.
You violate the Constitution by not doing that.
Then who are you? After age 21, you don't do that.
You are not citizen of Liberia. The reason is you still have dual citizenship and you have reached the age of 21. You have reached the age of maturity. You have not made a decision. The Liberian law does not recognize two dual citizenship. That puts you in the situation of not being a citizen.
And so, Mr. Jerue,
hold on. Where is that part of that at 21 or at this age, if you don't renounce that other citizenship, does the Constitution or the alien nationality law describe you beyond 21 without renouncing? Or is
no, there's no, if you reach 21, in fact, one of the interesting thing is the law did not say if you pass 21, you can't do it anymore, right? You can still do it. Pastor can go tomorrow and naturalize himself.
And the law doesn't describe who you are after not declaring by 21. The law did not say strip off your citizenship.
Okay. By inference, that's how people win cases.
No. you couldn't infer
says,
you are inferring that one.
No. I'm going to tell you why the inference is necessary. I cannot infer on something that is not practical. If the law tells you do not drive and drink, if you drive and drink, you will be punished. You will be given tickets, right? It's the same thing here. If you reach 21, you should go and declare yourself. If you don't declare yourself, what do you have made yourself?
And that's the question Dennis is asking, Mr. Jerue. I agree with the argument you raised here. I've asked a lot of lawyers about this, and the law is clear. If you are born onto a Liberian mother and you are born onto a foreign father, upon reaching the age of maturity, you must declare if you want to be a Liberian. Now, if you fail to do so, you hang in the balance. So my question is that if the person fails to do so, does it mean that person has lost Liberian citizenship automatically?
The person has lost Liberian citizenship because the Liberian law does not permit two citizenship. Remember the law said from Article 21 that if you have one parent from another country, you have another parent from another Liberia, you have to acquire two citizenship.
Okay.
You acquire your father's citizenship and you acquire your Liberian citizenship. So the law is not going to hold you now because you are a child. That's why they said we're going to give you some time. From the time you're born up to the time you are 21, you have a responsibility now to make a decision. And that decision should be whether you want to go with your father's citizenship or you want to be a Liberian citizenship, because we don't accept dual citizenship. At this time, you are a dual citizen. You got two citizenship. You are a dual citizen. We don't like that. But because you are a child, we're going to let you be. But when you reach the age of 21, you have to decide whether you want to be with us. And if you fail to decide at that time, it means you are still a dual citizen. You have not abandoned one of the citizenship. The law says you cannot be dual citizen in Liberia.
All right, I got that point.
But you have not lost your Liberian citizenship. And you know why I said that? Because the Constitution, the Supreme Court just ruled that you cannot deprive or take away anybody's citizenship unless you give that person due process.
So by the
due process they offer you.
No. So
that's the due process they offer you.
Mr. Dennis,
the due process is when you reach 21, We want you to go and declare. If you don't declare, you have notice. That's notice.
No,
That's
Mr.
due process.
Mr. Jerue, that's not a due process. If that were the due process, then Jallo would have lost the case as a Supreme Court.
No, Jerue case is different. I studied the Jerue case.
No, but
Jerue case is completely different.
But what's the crumbs of Jerue case? What is crumbs of Jerue case?
Jallo case was, Jallo, you are an American citizen. You declare yourself as a citizen in America, so you cannot get this privilege. That's Jallo case.
So what happened? He acquired another citizenship, right?
America.
Yeah, Mr. Jerue, my point is he acquired another citizenship. So it's the same with the child who did not declare his Liberian citizenship upon reaching age 21. That means that child has acquired two citizenship, just like Jallo to acquire two citizenship. And he won the case because he was not given due process.
It's not a case. It's not the same. Let me explain it again.
Okay.
Let me put in this scenario. I come to America, I made my decision as an adult. And say I want to be American citizen.
Right.
That's a decision I made. Okay? When the child is born, the child does not make the decision to what citizenship he wants to be.
We're talking about due process.
I'm talking about notice is one of due process element. Notice. The notice is in the Constitution. You have the right at 21 to go and declare. If you don't declare, you are neglected. There's something in law we call estoppel. That you are stopped from going further because you did not do what the law says you should do.
Right.
Okay, let me give another instance.
No, Mr. Jerue, just stop there. So
Mr. Jerue, we got that.
In order for us to determine that you are no longer a Liberian citizen, we have to take you to court to give you due process.
Is that what you mean? You don't know. They don't need court at that point. You're not recognized under the law. The only way you will need court, this is where it comes in. The only way you will need court if you go to apply for passport.
No.
They said, no, we can't give you passport because you don't have the citizenship certificate. You can go to the law and say, they deny me. You can go and ask for it. They don't need to go there. You have the burden of proof that you have the citizenship. The burden of proof is not on the people who's supposed to give you, who tell you, no, you're not citizen. You say, I'm a citizen. How are you citizen? Prove to all that you're a citizen.
Let's hold it there. Let's go back to the natural born. Someone just pointed this out and I look it up, that a natural born is actually mentioned in the Constitution.
Okay, I want to see that.
Okay, let's go to the president. Who can become president? They always say that you should be a natural born and of so age. Let me look for it.
Again, folks, in cyberspace, you are watching Focus on Liberia. And we are having with us Mr. Gibson Jerue, the host of From the House's Mouth, as our guest. We are discussing Liberian citizenship. And Mr. Jerue also believes that many advocates and talk show hosts are now holding opposition figures accountable, and that many talk show hosts and advocates are all a bunch of liars. And we will also be looking into his playbook as to how the Liberian government is doing. These are the issues we got in package for him, and he is facing the code of public opinion of Focus on Liberia. We want to know whether he will be found guilty or not. Mr. Ja.
Yes, okay.
Article 52.
Right. Yeah. Talking about who can become president, they say a natural born Liberian citizen of not less than 25 years of age.
Okay, so what's the definition of the natural born here?
No,
does it mean that you? No, you see, that's where the legal interpretation comes in.
Right.
So who is the natural born here? How do we extract definition here?
So you are reading law. Tell us, who is a natural born?
Right. Who is the Constitution talking about in Article 52A?
In my own understanding of this particular provision, you must have been born by two parents of Liberia.
Okay, but you're not sure of that.
That's an inference.
That's my interpretation.
Okay.
My interpretation, you have to be a person whose two parents are Liberian, because there's no condition to you. But if you have one parent who is an alien and one parent who is a Liberian, the Constitution just start right there. You're not going to be citizen right now. You have to make a decision whether you want to be with us.
All right.
So you cannot enjoy the privilege of 52.
All right.
You cannot enjoy the privilege of 52.
All right.
Because you have not made a decision.
All right, Mr. Jerue, let's get to the controversial part of it. You have been very clear and persistent, relentless to say that some Liberians, including Costa, you believe, is no longer Liberian, if I can pull it that way. Why is that so? What do you know about Costa's family composition for which you are saying that he is not a Liberian? And you've been very definite when you said that. So
I
tell me
have
why you think so.
7 videos.
Okay.
I have 7 videos
Okay.
that I'm saving for our legal process to challenge Costa anytime he put his foot on election issues until he does this. Because his own mouth, not me. You know, Costa always put himself in trouble, right? You remember when he said, "Oh, the boat are going to come my passport, you will let it pass it, and he got into trouble. So he always said things to tell us the kind of person he is, and that's a good thing. So we know more about Costa than we know about other people. Costa told us his father, his grandfather, Mr. Pedro Costa, whoever, Henrique Costa, came from Portugal. According to Section 3181 of the Portuguese law, any Portuguese citizen, whether at home or abroad, if you born any child, that child is a Portuguese citizen. And under the Portuguese dual citizenship law, that no Portuguese citizen shall lose their citizenship on account of being born outside. And I quoted those things before in my writing.
Question.
So Costa is, yeah.
Question. Does Portugal allow dual citizenship?
Yes, it does.
So if they allow dual citizenship, let's assume Costa's father became a Liberian at some point in time. Why is he not a Liberian if he's born onto a naturalized Liberian and a natural born Liberian woman, if I can put it that way?
That's exactly where I was going.
Okay.
So Costa's father, we know, is a Portuguese.
Okay.
So he came to Liberia to marry a grandmother of Costa whose name Costa does not know. Let's assume it's true he married a Pele woman. We don't know the Pele woman name. He never mentioned name before. But let's assume it's good. It's true.
So you don't know.
I say I don't know. So I say we, you know, when I say we, I'm talking about me and I myself.
Okay.
So he can bring it tomorrow, he can put it out there tomorrow and say, my grandmother is my grandmother is so and so.
Okay.
So that would be a great thing for me to know. And I'm gonna go to that. I got a report that I've read it now. When Costa called that grandmother me and the village, we're going to go to that grandmother village and find the grandmother. So we are waiting for that time. So he comes, according to him, the grandfather married his grandmother. We don't know whether married or girlfriend, but we agreed as married. And took the grandmother to Brazil. That time his father was not born yet. And he said his father was born in Brazil. So being born in Brazil to a Portuguese citizen, under the Brazilian law, under the Constitution, I think Article 17.562, under that law, it says all Portuguese citizens are citizens of Brazil. All Portuguese citizens are citizens of Brazil. So Costa's father, Henry, was already citizen of Brazil. Then his father born in Brazil, his father is a citizen of Brazil. It disregards whether he was born to a Liberian parent. So he and his mother came to Liberia here and born Costa. Let's take it one at a time. When his father came, he had two citizenships, his mother Liberian and his father Portuguese, and he became Brazilian, but let's leave the Brazilian part. So he had two citizenships, he acquired two citizenships. The law says the moment you come here and you want to be an adult, and you are an adult, you should go and declare your citizenship. His father, there's no record to show that his father declared citizenship. If Costa's father had declared citizenship and Costa revealed that document, I rest my case because then Costa is a born citizen. He's a citizen. Because his father naturalized, it means the father is Costa is a father of two Liberian citizens. But his father, there's no record to show that his father had naturalized. And Costa himself was born. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Jerue, I didn't mean to cut you. I just wanted to be interactive.
That's good. I love it.
You know, you are saying that if Costa's father did naturalize at some point before the birth of Costa, then Costa is a Liberian. But
Yes.
you want to believe that Costa father did not naturalize, and it's on that basis you are assuming that Costa is not a Liberian because when he reached the age of maturity, he did not naturalize. What evidence do you have that Costa father did not naturalize?
The evidence, the burden of proof is not on me.
No, I
The
mean
burden
you
of
the
proof
one.
is
No,
on
no, you the
Costa.
one making this noise. Costa is not going around to say I'm not a Liberian. You are the one saying Costa is not a Liberian. So you should have all the facts in your possession before you can say this man is not a Liberian because I have proved that his father did not naturalize. You should be
Okay,
the one.
that's not the principle of law. And I hope those lawyers who are listening to me will call in and debunk me. The principle of law in the civil law is not like that. It's not like criminal law where the burden of proof is on only the accusers.
Mhm.
In civil law, we say the preponderance of evidence, and it's shaped both ways. It can be on the defendant and it can be on the plaintiff.
And
In this case,
in this case, in the court of public opinion, it's on you.
hold on, don't rush, don't rush. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not.
All right, go
In
ahead.
this case,
Uh-huh.
Costa went on his show and said, I'm a natural born Liberian. That's a claim he made. When you make a claim, you should have the preponderance of evidence to prove that you are what you say you are. So I am challenging him to that. I said, do you have the evidence to prove that you are like me, a natural born, a citizen of Liberia, mother, father, everybody, citizen? Have you fulfilled the law that says you have to be 21 before you can be citizen? Did you do that? This is a legal question I'm asking.
All right.
So he has the burden of proof. He should show the preponderance of evidence, not me.
Mr. Jerue, and I don't want to go to a personal citizenship question because who wants
I'm open to anything.
Yeah, who wants to discuss their immigration status here? But here is my question. Mr. Costa, and if I will go there, even though I'm uncomfortable discussing people's immigration background, Mr. Costa did not, I mean, you say he claimed, I mean, he's living his life. You are the one who says he's not a Liberian. He has nothing to prove, in my opinion. If Mr. Costa wants something that requires Liberian citizenship, and he is not able to get that, then he has to prove that he's a natural born Liberian. But
of course, that's what the law. That's what the law is. That's the process of the law.
Yeah, but
if I go to apply.
Yeah, right.
Let me give you an example. We all live in America.
What I'm saying is, Mr. Costa is not doing any of that. Mr. Costa ran as representative. He lost the election. So if he
because nobody raised the issue.
Right. Exactly. So
and nobody raised the issue.
So
he
has nothing to prove to anybody about his.
No, he does. No, he does.
No, he doesn't.
When Costa went to participate in the election and nobody raised the issue, he lucky.
Exactly.
So in America, let's say let me take the American situation. So we all live in America. If you fake immigration document and you happen to work in America, you get fake Social Security and you can work. But when they grab you, what happens?
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
so are you trouble? So we didn't grab you at that time.
No, but if you were to take him to court, then you say he should prove. But now you are the one who is carrying on the campaign, so you have to prove. That's my point.
Mr. Jerue,
no, I'm not in the court of law. I'm not in the court of law. Remember, this is the court
Mr.
of
Jerue, you are still gathering evidence all around. You want to go to this village. You want to go to a court. You're looking for all the evidence that are needed to prove that Costa is not a citizen. You know why you're doing that? You know why you're doing that? You are doing that because yourself is aware that the burden of proof is on you because you are the one who is on this campaign, not Costa. So you have to prove it.
Let me backpedal and explain to you a little bit. Maybe you meet another lawyer when they tell you, they say, well, that other guy who want to be a lawyer, he lied to us. Mm-hmm. The process is in shades. Mm-hmm. The first thing here is to challenge the man's citizenship. Mm-hmm. This is a court of public opinion. Right. In a court of public opinion, there is nothing like burden of proof on accuser. In a court of law, the burden of proof issue comes to bear. Okay. So let's say Costa right now, Costa went and contested. Nobody asked him. So you are lucky to scheme through and succeed. Mm-hmm. Now, if he goes to register to contest for any position, and I go and write the election commission and say, as far as we know, based on evidence from him that his father is from this country and his mother is from Liberia, The Constitution says he should have he should have naturalized before he can assume Liberian citizenship. We believe that he has not given you Liberian citizenship naturalization. Therefore, he is not qualified. Deny him. The burden is on Costa to say, no, here is my certificate.
Right.
That's why the preponderance of evidence is. You don't have to understand it today, but you can ask other lawyers. This is preponderance of evidence.
Mr. Jerue, we get that. We say we have not reached that bridge yet. Costa, as of today, Costa has nothing to prove to anybody that he's a Liberian or not a Liberian.
As of today, he has nothing to prove.
Right.
As of today, he has nothing to prove.
And
as of today, I have to educate the public that this man is not proving anything, but this man is in silence, not a Liberian citizen. He is violating the law. He is running a business in Liberia as a Liberian. He registered, he got a Liberian passport and registered a name, in fact, who is not a father name. That's another thing I'm coming up with. He applied for passport and registered another man name as his father and not his Portuguese father. That is fraudulent misuse of public document.
And what name? What name is that?
I'm not going there today.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't want to jeopardize my to do.
Also, are you filing a lawsuit?
Oh yes.
All right. Let leave it there, Mr. Jerue. Let's do this. We almost go into an hour on the citizenship. We have other three components. Let's conclude on the citizenship issue. So you agree here that assuming Costa's father did naturalize at some point before Costa's birth, if Costa's father did, then no argument. Costa is a citizen. No argument. Then let's look at another scenario. Assuming also that Costa's father did not, the fact that Costa, we can agree, was born onto a Liberian mother, all he needs to do is to go and declare his intention that he wants to be a Liberian. Case closed. Even now. Then case closed. All right. Yes. So I think, Mr. Jad, let's leave it there. But again,
I'm not leaving it there. Let Mr. Jerue tell me. So because you have singled out this guy, right? Which some may think that is personal, What are your next steps? What do you do now?
I didn't only single Costa. I also call Mo Ali.
Okay.
Mo Ali's father is from Egypt. He came to Liberia and had a girlfriend in Liberia. He born by this woman. 1 year later, he left a baby with this Liberian woman and never came back to Liberia. Mo Ali has never, I don't know whether he knows a father. Maybe he had gone to a father now because he's an old adult. So Mo Ali is also in that situation. Let's talk about Mona Fahad. Mona Fahad is a Lebanese, a Liberian. We have no information whether she has gone to the court to do the same thing. And we are watching all of these people like Emmanuel Service. All of these people, they need to go. And let me just go one more step. If you remember the guy they call Money Captain. Money Captain, mother is Vulatit, a full-blooded Liberian woman. Father, mother, Liberian. She married a Lebanese, Mr. Captain, and born Money in Liberia. Money went to school in Liberia, graduated from the University of Liberia in Liberia at college. Money Captain did not declare his citizenship. In 1997, when Chancellor appointed him to be the foreign minister of Liberia, when he arrived at the Senate, they asked him, have you gone to the court to declare yourself? Money Captain said no. Of course, he said yes. He said he lied. He said bring the document. He said he had to go to get it from Bassa. And I know Money Captain went back, did whatever he did, and brought his certificate from Grand Bassa County from the 4th Judicial Circuit and gave it to them. That made Money Captain to get that position. The lawmakers made him to go there. Yeah. I have two documents right now of one Fula man and a Liberian who was born, Fawazi, who lives in Asia right now. When he had a passport for 10 years and he went to renew it and they denied him, Finabondo denied him. He went to his brother at the NSA, his assistant director at the NSA. His brother told him, he said, my man, I can't do anything about this. Go to our sister, who is a deputy commissioner of immigration. She may help you.
All right, Mr. Jerue.
The woman said, I can't help you, my brother.
Thank you
have to go and do the right thing. Go naturalize and bring your
Mr. Jerue.
papers, and you will get your passport. And he did that and got a passport. So
Thank
if other people can follow the law, I think Costa should also follow the law. No one is bigger than the law. He should go through the same process to be able to enjoy the privileges and benefit of Liberia.
So what are you going to do next about it? Costa is not.
I'm already working with a group in Liberia. I also hired a lawyer already. I've already sent the first $400 for engagement fees, and we have some pertinent document. Like I told you, we have a form that Costa filled and put a Liberian popular man name as his father. He did not put a Portuguese man name on the document, which is a misuse of Liberian public document. And you obtain public document as a result of that.
Mr. Jerue, quickly, if Costa is doing that, assuming what you're saying is true, probably he did DNA and he realized that person is a father. So then no case, right?
So then he cannot come on air and say my father is Portuguese.
Maybe that's why he knew then. And now he has gotten more information and he verified it. I think we have to leave it there, but let's assume
Did he go back to correct it?
Let me read a few comments.
Oh, we'll get there.
Let me read a few comments, Mr. CA, then we can move to the next topic.
All right.
For getting at us, let's say.
I can make a closing comment on that too before we move on to the next thing.
No, you close already. You're so Costa.
You close already. I don't know why you're doing this. Why are you going after this man?
Right. Okay. Prince Kaya Welly Guinea say, Dennis Ja, please ask Gibson, what about Upon Wia's biological father is a Ghanaian? Wia himself confirmed that on a live television interview in Ghana. Wia got proof too that Wia's father is a Ghanaian Liberian. Nora Hawk say, you will come after a lot of Liberians with citizenship campaign. Hope you have enough money to fight your case. Wheeler Butler say, please ask Mr. Gibson about George Weah's father. He told us that his Weah's father denied him. He's talking about DNA. Then there's UJ DK say, we take this platform seriously. Please stop this kind of comedy action in here. And those are just few comments.
Okay, I see two things I can respond to.
Yeah, let me read one. Yesterday we said we were marginalized by American Liberians, but today we are so indigenous people in the legislature, but no light, accusing each other of citizenship everywhere. Too sad.
Okay, I want to see two things that I can respond to. Okay. One that has to do with George Weah's father. I can tell you for sure that George Weah's father, I don't know if George Weah did any interview in Ghana. If the person have it, they can send it to you so you can play it. But I know George Weah's father is from Nima and is a Liberian. The second thing I want to say here, somebody say, I have plenty of money to go after people.
Hold on, you say his father from Nimba? I thought George Weah's father.
His father from Nimba and he's a Liberian.
It's not from Grand Cru.
No.
So George Weah lied to me?
I don't know if he lied to you, but I know what I'm telling you. That's what I know.
George Weah is claiming to be a son of Grand Cru.
Well, a mother has a relation that comes from Grand Cru. So
why
not?
Okay.
So right. Maybe he take to Grand Cru because the father, he is not connected to the father. So
yeah, for sure. His grandmother is from Southern, where I'm from. I think that's where he's coming from.
Thank you very much. You see, then the issue of I get plenty of money to go after a lot of people, it's not about plenty of money. It's just about punishing one person, disciplining one person, the rest of the people will take the cue. So I don't have to go after plenty of people. I have said enough. Even right now, if I don't even do anything, the government of Liberia has taken the cue.
Wait a minute. You say you are disciplining one person?
I said, I'm just giving an example. I said if you have a lot of people doing something and you discipline one, everybody take the cue. So if we deal with Costa and the message go loud and clear, the rest of the people will do the right thing and they will know that somebody will come after them later.
So what's your goal here?
Right, because of
my goal is for Costa to naturalize, let him be like us.
Mr.
And what does it benefit you?
Mr. Jerue, here's the thing.
He is taking my privileges that he's not supposed to take.
Mr. Jerue, here's the thing. Costa has the biggest microphone. He's tough on the government. He's a leading political figure and he has a huge following.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is this why you are going after him? Does the government have something to do with it? Is this something that you are being or used to fight this case against opposition figure?
I'm glad you asked this question. And after, if you have the time to call Costa, you ask him. I have sent Costa 3 messages to encourage him. One of them read, "Hey, bro, I heard and watched your video. It was excellent. My only disappointment was you were insulting people that call you. You do not have to do this. You have the people behind you. Just be a person that will explain what you believe in. Do not take the extreme measure." Second message, "Hey, bro, how you doing? I saw your message today. You were excellent, but did you have to go that far? Be careful." He responded, "Thank you, big brother. This is absolutely refreshing. I enjoy I enjoy talking with you. I will call you at a later date." And he did call me and we talked. So I'm telling you, we need a Costa to keep the government feet on the fire. We need a Martin Colley to keep the government feet on the fire. We need a Yeke Koluba to keep the government feet on the fire. We need a Darren Dillon to keep the government feet on the fire. But they lie too much.
And that's a segue to our next segment, which
they lie. They are rude.
Lie too much and they rule. So let's get into that one. You said opposition activists, advocates, they are spreading misinformation, they lie, and you are ready to name names. And you also said they are not holding the opposition bloc accountable. And we will see if you are holding the government accountable, Mr. Jerue. But let's start with that segment.
And so let's start with a segment of your claim that talk show hosts and advocates lied a lot and don't hold opposition figures accountable. If I may start, at some point, and I'm playing the devil advocate here.
Let him make his case first.
All right, you make your case, Mr. Jerue. You make your case. What make you think they are not holding the government? I mean, they're not holding the
problem I got today. I got 2 top guys coming on. I don't know. This is okay. Let me tell you, my brothers.
Examples.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you. I'll give you not 5, say plenty. I think I get more than 5. I can guarantee you. My brothers, let me tell you something. I have lived 52 years on this earth since my mother born me. Out of the 52 years, I have practiced journalism for 30 years. I have seen almost all the characters of media people. I've seen the characters of politicians. I've seen the characters of advocates. There is no time in our Liberian history where we have a group of opposition and advocates who are very rude, very uncouth, very desperate, very disorganized, they are dementedly pathological liars. And I'm going to name each person, call the name, and I'll tell you the lies they are told.
You call it.
I can call the name, Mr. Jerue. I can call the names.
Let's start with Alexander Cummings. Alexander Cummings went on the radio twice. The first time he said, the government of Liberia pay for the military plane and the military police for the motorcyclists to come to Liberia. And they spent $400,000 for that. At the end of the day, that wasn't true. The government did not pay for it. The Ghanaian government confirmed on Jaw FM that the Ghanaian government wrote the entire process. Mm-hmm. If the Ghanaian government would lie on themselves, then I'm lying on them. Number 1. Yeah. Number 2, mm-hmm. Alexander Cummings, he is so desperate and very, very unconscious of the danger his action can cause, to the point that while Taylor Ure's case during the election was pending before the election commission, when she was the one that complained, Alexander Cummings went to a press conference with Taylor Ure and her father and said in that press conference, Taylor Ure has won the election. Tell me, a man with a lot of following like that, what would have happened if these people have taken his words and say they cheated Taylor and they go in the street and damage things? That's very irresponsible, and it was over the mark. Talk about Costa. I don't even know how many of these things I can name.
So those are the two.
Costa
Those are the
lied.
only two you had on Mr. Cummins.
Yeah,
Yeah. I got a lot of people to talk about. So let me do a tutu.
All right.
Costa told us the government of Liberia spent 1.2 million. Later on, he said the government spent 1 million. Later on, he said 900,000 on the July 26th celebration. My brother, Costa knew that was a lie, and it became a lie. The total money that government spent on the entire process was less than 500,000. Was that money necessary? That's another debate.
Where did you get the actual numbers?
Oh, the numbers were given by the government. The government said that's what we spent.
And where can we find it?
Oh, I can send it to you. I think I have the video.
Well, just tell me about which government website. These are public information. Where can I go to get it? I'm not saying you're lying.
The information minister had a press conference and he appeared at, I think, OKFM, and I have the videos. I can tell you. Up to now, Costa cannot prove that the government spent $1 million.
So you believe the information minister and you don't believe Costa, right?
I don't believe Costa because he has been lying several times. What make me what you are believing?
Does it mean that the information minister has never lied, so you believe him?
I never see where he lied yet. Did he? Do you have one tell me? Then I will no longer believe him.
Well, if you are talking about Eugene Nambwe gave conflicting information about the 16B.
What did he say? He didn't give conflicting information, but what did he say?
All right.
I know he had a problem with the finance minister.
Let's list down these.
Let's leave that. I don't want to argue the government case. Yeah, but we'll go to that. I know the entire process. It was very much reprehensible for the government to have conflicting information from information minister, from finance minister, then from the press secretary. I know it is not good. But at the same time, if you are an advocate, you don't inflate figures. You don't tell people things that are not good. The intention for this is only to create an anxiety, to incite people.
All right. Let's go to the next person.
Let's go to Yeke Koluba. Yeke Koluba told you, Mr. Ja, that the government of Liberia sent 150 armed men to his house and they barricaded his house. In this age of our Liberian situation, where everything has a video and a picture, today, Mr. Yeke Koluba will not produce a single picture that 150 armed men went to his house and barricaded his house. He said that on the Liberian local media. He said that in the press. On the VOA. He also told us that the Ghanaian president wrote ECOWAS and said, "You tell George we are. I tell you, see him every day. He wake up in the morning. They come to me. Nobody in the diplomatic cycle people don't do that."
Okay.
Next. He also accused George we are more than 1 million times of sending people to his house to kill him. He's still alive. So when these kind of hyperboles are happening, you make it difficult for us to believe you, even if the thing is true.
Okay. Let's go to the next advocate or activist.
Let's go to Martin Colley. Let's go to Martin Colley, the little sleeky, slimy, lying, pathetic, and demented, uncouth individual. This man takes...
Mr. Jerue, you were just going after Costa for insulting people, and your descriptive words here.
No, I said pathological liar. I'm still describing the lie.
Okay.
It's a dementedly pathological, lying, uncouth individual. Uncouth means you as uncivilized. For you to do things that are not civilized.
If Costa should use those words on you, you will be okay, or any other public official. You have no problem, right?
No, I got a problem. I got no problem. He can go and use it.
Okay.
Those are things that people are using on me.
Okay.
But let's look at Martin Colley, for example. The man took a Nigerian, how do you call it? Ugandan road that was damaged in part of Uganda. Publish it on Facebook and say that one of George Weah road that he fixed that damage. The man took the Nigerian housing projects and put Samuel 12 picture on it and said that Samuel 12 house is there. And I will know where in Monrovia. He didn't know where it is in Monrovia, but he said that Samuel 12 mansion. Those kind of propaganda, they do not help our system. We never seen people like that do it. I know a lot of advocates in the past. I know Kofi Woods. I know Dan Saye. I know Alosha Stowe. I know all of these guys that have been in the vanguard of advocacy in I know Rufus knew that. I know all of these guys are being vanguard advocacy. Not those. They don't do like that. They don't take existential issues that are not true and bring it to the local scene and say this is why it's happening. You can criticize George Weah. There's so many things to criticize George Weah.
Mr. Jerue.
But for you to deliberately lie.
Yeah, Mr. Jerue, before you continue, you know, these advocates, many of them are not in Liberia. They use information given to them by people they trust. So the probability of them, or getting it wrong at some point is high. To use one or two instances and go after them as being uncouth and pathological liars. I mean, you might have fallen to this too. Maybe somebody gave you information, they're like, Mr. Jerue, I'm sure. Has that not happened to you? Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I have made mistakes and I come out and tell them this was not true. Okay. I'll give you one example. Mm-hmm. During the riot, during the protests of the students, you remember those elementary students that went to the I think foreign ministry.
Right.
During that time, there was a video that was published on YouTube in 2007.
Okay.
Somebody sent that video to me and said it was the recent video the police were beating students.
Students, yeah.
They went to the Gibson compound, and I was so furious.
I remember that.
And I criticized the government. I blasted. I even almost cried on the air. Only to realize
it happened during Taylor's time.
2007.
Yeah.
And I came back on the air. 2017. I came back on the air and say I published a video yesterday. I talked about a video yesterday, but it was not true.
Right.
The people who gave me the video, they lied to me. That's what professionalism is.
And you also defended Wambo Dike.
Oh, yes. I defended his right to citizenship.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't want people to say because he naturalized, so he cannot benefit from the rights as a citizen. That was our defending. I want to defend him as a Nigerian man. I want to defend him as a morally upright man. But if people say, oh, man, a Nigerian man. But the man naturalized. The Constitution says if you naturalize, you get all the rights as a Liberian citizen. Why now should you deny the man the rights when the man did a thing? Only later on, I realized that some birthdays were coming up and this one, I said, oh, no. We can't go far here.
All right.
And I came back and said, look, I can't go far with this. If this is what he did, then it's reprehensible and they need to investigate. That's what I said, investigate.
All right, thank you.
And I still stand by that.
If you are just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We have Mr. Gibson Jerue, who is laying the claims that some natural-born Liberians, he doesn't want me to use that, but I'll continue to use that until the Constitution proves me otherwise. Some natural-born Liberians have lost their citizenship because they did not renounce their other citizenship obtained by virtue of their fathers being foreigners. Also, he's claiming that certain opposition figures, activists, and advocates are spreading misinformation and lies. So, Mr. Jerue, let's get two more of those advocates that you believe are spreading information, and then we get your barometer on the Weah government.
And Mr. Jerue, what's about Emmanuel Savage and Yasene Mountain? These are two voices we hear all the time. Are they not holding the opposition accountable?
Emmanuel Savage is my friend. The only thing I've had problem with Yasene is very rude. She has insulted me before. I never insulted her. I tried. In fact, I brought Yasene the first time ever in Liberia to bring her on social media to interview her. I was the first. And you ask her, she'll tell you. I started broadcasting on Facebook since 2014, the first person that started. And I brought Martin Yasene 2015, 2016, consistently. So I don't hate her. And I was trying to tell her she was trying to meddle advocacy and politics. And I just wrote a simple comment on her page and said, if you are talking advocacy, don't mix it with politics. And she went off and she insulted me, wrote me all kind of stuff, and I told her I can't do that because I like women too much. I can't insult a woman.
Is she now holding opposition accountable?
I'm sorry?
No, I was just asking, is she now holding opposition figures accountable? And is she lying to?
No, she's not. She's not. Tell me, how many of those people are holding the opposition are credible? Yeah, Yeke Koluba said he will go and bring the president down with a necktie to drag him down the stairs. How many of them wrote? All the media institutions in Liberia, how many of them wrote commentary? or editorial to condemn that. Costa said you were going to drag the president body in the street. How many people condemn me? Costa said you were going to burn down the Robert International Airport. How many people condemn me? Costa said you hit the president, that you had the opportunity, you will kill the president. Have you seen any media institution condemn me? These people do this thing, and Bernard Ure said those who don't support me are cockroaches. Did any media condemn me?
Yes, they did.
Yep.
These are people. I mean, these are people who supposed to be the custodian of the civil society voices. And they are the ones that inciting people. And the media in Liberia, including Yesini, Costa insulted Alexander Cummings and Tao Wombe and Elisha To, 2-3 senior members of the ANC. The Yesini condemn it. These people don't have the moral compass. They don't have the moral rectitude to be able to stand up, to condemn things that are wrong. And when you do it, they say you pay by government.
Mr. Jerue.
And that's my mission.
Mr. Jerue,
yes, sir.
You have been holding the opposition figures accountable. And I will even say that you are a little tougher on them than anybody can imagine. And so maybe these other advocates say, okay, we got big brother Jerue handling business on that side. Let handle business with GOL. So I don't know why you are doing that. But again, let me say this quickly. I think some advocates and talk show hosts have been holding the opposition people accountable. I remember quite clearly. In the diaspora, for sure, I know. I don't know about Liberia.
I never said in the diaspora. I said on the local market, on the local.
Yeah, let me say when Telia Ure was selected, Ure came under serious criticism by those who support advocates and talk show who support the opposition. Ure came under serious criticism. Even his cockroach statement, I know Yasini criticized him for that. I know Emmanuel Savage went after him for that. And many other people went after him. Vendela Patricks went after him for that. Josh Lobo went after him for that. Many of them went after Ure. And most of them criticized the entire selection process of the CPP candidate, meaning Dara Dillon and Tira Ure. They complained why they could not have had, or why they didn't have what you call a primary. They wanted to see a primary, and that was not done. And they criticized that seriously. I personally criticized Ure on Talia Ure's selection, and also his statement referring to Liberians are cockroaches. And many of them have been, after the opposition, and they have been criticizing the opposition too for their failure to come to an agreement on their so-called CPP. Every day, Dara Diron telling us they're working on it. They never get to it. And they say they want to collaborate. They can't collaborate. And so many of them have been criticizing, maybe not as much as you do, but I know those people names are called, especially Emmanuel Save has been throwing punches at them. On that note, we will leave it there, if you don't mind, and then we will move on to the next segment.
And this segment, Mr. Jerue, the same way you are holding the opposition accountable, many people are accusing you, in fact, from the comments, they are calling you a pay agent of the government. They are saying you don't hold the government accountable. So we want to take you through some steps and see. We don't want to hear, whether you hold them accountable or not. But Mr. Sia will read out a list, and let's see where you stand. Do you hold the government accountable? First, in one sentence, say that, and then I'll pass it to Mr. Sia, who's going to walk you through some instances or some things that the government have done, and let's see where you stand.
I do hold the government accountable. I just held it accountable for the market building. They're breaking down the market stores. I just held it accountable. That's the latest one I just gave.
They say you are picking the low-hanging fruits.
So which one is low-hanging fruit? People break down people's market store. Thousands of people will not go to sell. They depend on that one day selling to feed their family. The government goes there and break down all their market stores without proper information, proper arrangement. And I tell you, it was wrong. And say it's a low fruit, then I don't know what is even important.
Mr. Sia, let Mr. Sia walk you through some.
All right, Mr. Jerue, as we speak, you are in focus on Liberia Code of Public Opinion, and to the list I'm about to read, you have to answer guilty or non-guilty, and then there is a second one of batch of it. That one you will respond fiasco or work in progress or failure of honest effort. And when we get that, I will restate that just for you to get a clear understanding. But if the first segment here is we want you to say guilty or non-guilty based on how you see it. The 16 billion Liberian dollar, guilty or non-guilty? We're talking about GOL here.
Guilty.
25 million United States dollars, guilty or non-guilty?
Guilty.
The NOCA report,
Guilty.
the AFL pension money.
From I don't know much about that. Is it a former government one?
Yeah,
Or?
the former government. So let me put some context around it. Bernice, I'm not, what's his name? Samunkai.
Bernice Samunkai.
Yeah, Samunkai misappropriated.
Brought.
Yes, he confessed that they misappropriated the money, and they used the money for purpose not intended yet. And so when
we are government did well on that.
Okay, we had Samuel 12 consider it as a borrowing initiative, and Eugene Namwe describe it as the whole cover hole. Guilty or not guilty?
Litigative.
Guilty. All right. On Namodiki. Okay. On the Namodiki appointment and fracas.
Not guilty.
Not guilty on Namodiki?
Not guilty.
All right. All right. Now tell us why you think they are guilty on the list. Those ones you pronounce guilty and not guilty on Namodiki.
So if I forget, you tell me because
yeah,
team down. The first one was $16 billion.
16 billion 25. Why you think the government is guilty? Just briefly.
When you come to power, one of the major things you will be concerned about is the financial, the economic standing of the government. The government was under responsibility to know, to check, to investigate those money issues. If the government failed to take the proper step and there is an error that took place, it may not be that the government ate or misused the money or the government stole the money, but the fact that you did not provide proper guidance, you will bear the consequences of anything that happened. And that is why I said they are guilty, because there were too many misinformation. One person said no money missing. Another person said money got missing. Another person said all the money didn't get missing. Some got missing. So what does the public expect to believe?
Yeah.
So the government is supposed to organize their information. They should not speak when they are not supposed to speak. For instance, the finance minister went on radio and denigrated the information minister.
All right.
Oh, no, man. I don't want to tell you what I'm telling you. I'm the finance minister.
Yeah.
That kind of irresponsible, reprehensible way of speaking to people. So even if the information minister said that based on the information you got, and you got new information, won't you be able to coordinate with your information minister so that he can be the one to do the correction and you go on the radio to denigrate him?
25 million.
They're guilty, Mr. Sia. Let's move on.
All right. Let's move on. Nambodiki. Why do you think the government is not guilty on Nambodiki?
The government is not guilty because the government was convinced, the lawmakers convinced the government that Nambodiki was possible nominee. The man appeared. The first time they appointed the man, they approved the man, which presupposes to Mr. Weir that this man can occupy any position because the man showed document from the Supreme Court that he was passed on as a citizen. That alone is convincing. Supreme Court ruling. So if he was appointed for the first time and went for confirmation hearing, and these very people confirm him, why should the president doubt that he has any citizenship problem?
And now that you are one of those who believe that he lied to us, all of us, what's your recommendation?
My recommendation is, I said they should investigate him. The worst thing any person can do, let alone a lawyer, is to manipulate the system to plunder public document. Why he did, there's so many things coming up. We don't know what to believe. Nigerian marriage certificate, calling himself Nigerian there, birth certificate with different age, another passport with different age, and all those things, these are beclouding his honesty.
Mm-hmm.
And so the issue of credibility now comes into play.
Right.
So even if Sonny, who is a pure Liberian, if Anthony was going for a confirmation hearing, and there's something like that come up, would definitely say, no, you can't confirm my Sonny because of this XYZ reason.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Thank you.
But the issue of citizenship was not an issue to argue about. You cannot blame the president because the lawmakers told the president that the man was clean and they passed him. So how can they now hold the president and say, why you should have vetted him? But the man should have came before you. You were the vetting committee. You should have vetted the man. You passed the man. Why would the president want to waste his time with all the things on his plate to go and start sending scouts around and CIU and Secret Service around to go investigate somebody's citizenship?
Thank you, Mr. Jerue.
All right.
Let's go to the next, Mr. CA.
So that
a work in progress or failure of honest effort. Go, Mr. CA.
all right. Eton and Igbo math. Fiasco or honest effort?
It's a failure of earnest effort. Here is why. The government came cash strapped. Mm-hmm. And let's take all the things put together. Mm-hmm. The oil mill has left. They were bringing in almost $80 million per annum. That money had gone. International community.
Sorry to interrupt, but we don't know that because the former president said they left enough money. And
no, I'm not talking about what the president left here. I'm talking about oil mill leaving. The amount of money that oil mill was bringing to the country. Okay. When oil mill left, that money, oil mill had hundreds of employees.
Okay, yeah, let's move on. So
I'm just trying to give you reason why the government was not much to be blamed. The government was cash strapped. Okay. And at that time, they wanted money. They were under pressure to get contract. People were opposition saying you came to power, you are not being able to land one contract. But you know, all of us were saying the same thing. I went to Morovia, I said the same thing. I was at Cool FM. Every evening I go, when will you get a contract to be able to live the life of your people? We all said the same thing. And the government was under pressure. And so Ibomaf came. It was a lucrative contract where the government let $500 million go when they can do much with it. All right. At the time, nobody knew that Eton. Well, the government did not know at the time that Eton was a fake. And then the information began to unravel. And even government challenged the information, that it was fake. But when it became evidence, even the lawmakers, listen, Anthony and Ja, let me tell you the truth. The real problem we have may be the president, but it is with the lawmakers
as well.
The lawmaker passed that contract
overnight.
They ratified it. They didn't question it.
Okay.
Why did they ratify it?
Next one.
All right. Let's come to Coastal Highway.
I love it. I think they should continue to do that. In fact, I want that Coastal Highway to extend beyond. They should pass the Rowan International Airport, go to Habel, take the road to go to 70. What is that? 24. The highway to go to Kakata. Let it go straight. That highway should go there, and then we should continue because we need it.
You're talking about the Rawalsby Highway. He's asking for Coastal Highway. The one
they should pass all the way. They should go. They should pass Rawalsby and carry that thing past through.
So you consider that as a fiasco, a work in progress, or a failure?
It's a work in progress.
Okay, go ahead.
I can get the government 80% on that one.
Even though the road has not started and they don't have a dime for it.
But what a work in progress. So it's 80%.
All right.
The finish will be 100%.
The 6,000 Nigerian teacher fiasco.
Fiasco.
Fiasco. All right. Let's look at government public relation machinery. Fiasco.
Decimal.
Fiasco.
Fiasco.
I like that. Regular update on COVID-19 by GOL via press conference.
Desmond.
SOE enforcement and stimulus package.
Work in progress.
Why not fiasco, man?
Why not fiasco, man? Because money in it?
Why would I say fiasco? You guys are very interesting. Why would I say fiasco?
We asking questions.
It has not even happened.
Okay.
The president just made a suggestion. The lawmaker have the right to look at it, improve it. In fact, in the end of the letter, he said, I will be willing to get any suggestion from you. So the lawmakers now who appropriate money, they need to go in there. In fact, I like them to increase the 25 million to 40 million and then later on to 50 million because we need more help to these people. But these people are concerned more about politics than actually to help the people.
Mr. Jerue here is our guest, and he is facing the code of popular opinion of focus on Liberia. I see our audience here enjoying themselves. He's always holding others accountable, and we are trying to do that here. This is what we do. Mr. Jerue, let's go to some comments quickly. Let Mr. Jerue take a little break.
Steve Bole said, I'm still trying to understand this Gibson man for real. I think he is dishonest man and a serious crook as well. That's Steve Bole. Those harsh words for you, Mr. Jerue.
Steve Bole, he's not my fan, so I don't mind. Steve Bole can say that, but he's not my fan. God, I talked on him before.
Okay. Vatsiki Son Kamara say Iboma and Ayrton didn't meet international standard. IMF put it on hold. Patrick Body Kennedy said tonight's show is very interesting and informative. Great job, focus on Liberia. Martin Wilmon Brown said, how do you give 80% to a work in progress? Simeon Wright said, with budget shortfall, where is the money coming from? Meaning to build the roads. Vivian Powerhouse said, you are doing so good, Brother Gibson. More comments, Mr. Sia?
More comments.
You have Cassidy Double said, Gibson Jerue, are the lawmakers not part of the very government? You always take the government to mean the executive branch alone. Very sad again for a 30-year journalist. Franklin Montgomery Gibson, Senator A.B. Darius DeLon was not in the Senate at that time. Councillor Numbusi Wambodiki was confirmed. Councillor Wambodiki need to be prosecuted and jailed. Nura Hoke said 4 guilty, 2 not guilty. They have failed. And Franklin Montgomery said, Gibson, do you see President Weah asset declared? If so, please share it with us. He told us that he can't declare his asset publicly because he values his family more than the country. The last one, Hamilton Zilli, does Mr. Jerue know the meaning of the word pathological when he's using word to smear people's character? Brother Jah, do not allow such a character like Mr. Jerue to use this platform to demean people.
Let me answer the last two are more important. Pathological, it's not an insult. Somebody who do something without thinking. I don't know, these people, they don't know the words or definition that you ask. Pathological means you do something, you don't think about it. You don't have the feeling that what you're doing is wrong. So when someone tells you you are a pathological liar, it means you lie without feeling that your lie will do harm to other people. Simple definition. Let me go to the one that has the second to the last you read.
The asset declaration thing about President Weah?
Asset declaration, absolutely. Asset declaration. I don't know how many times we talk about this. We have, let me give names so that it can go there. We have Tiawan Gonglo in Monrovia. You can go to Tiawan Gonglo, Dara DeLong. You can go to Tiawan Gonglo, Yeke Koloba. You can go to Tiawan Gonglo, all of you who are opposition and advocate, and ask him to go to the civil law court and file a petition to give George Weah asset declaration. If the law says no, then we know where the law stands on the issue. You have not tried. The law says the president is not anybody who declare your obligation to share with the public. You will give it to the GAC. You will give it to the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission, and the Anti-Corruption Commission will give GSC copy. Anyone who go to the Anti-Corruption Commission and want a copy, the Anti-Corruption Commission will send you, if you have reason, you go to the court and apply for it. And the court will authorize you to get a copy. You people have not tried. You people are only looking for publicity stunt. You have no interest in George Weah Asset Declaration. None of you have access. All of you not have interest. None of you, all the opposition Liberia, not a single one of you have interest. Because if you do, you will find a lawyer, you will go to the court, you will ask the court to give you authorization to go and get a copy. Unless you do that, I will consider you noise makers, people who want publicity, people who want to use the asset declaration as a political stunt, and you have no interest in knowing what is in the asset declaration. So stop making noise about it.
All right, Mr. Jerue, I can't let you go. We are about to wind down here, but I can't let you go without asking a few questions.
Go ahead.
The last time you were on our show, you told me and you told us you are sympathetic to the government. Where is that sympathy coming from, and why are you sympathetic to the government? I'm curious.
First of all, it's a young government.
Yeah.
We have so many people in government who have never been there before.
Okay.
And as a result of that, too many trial and error going on.
Okay.
Some of them are learning. Some of them are still not learning. And so the man at the top of the ticket, he is afraid. I think I can use the word afraid or jittery, that removing some of these people who have been with him in the trenches will dampen his political career. And so my sympathy is not because I don't want them to be held responsible. My sympathy is to sympathize with people is to put yourself in their shoes. It's not that you don't want them to do the right thing. If somebody is lost their father and go sympathize with the person, it does not mean you don't want their father to die anymore.
Mr.
You put yourself in the shoes to feel the way the person feels. So that's what I mean sympathy. I feel the way the government is going. They are being bombarded locally and internationally, and they are actually struggling to get their feet on the ground. And that is a serious problem.
Mr. Jerue, are you setting the bar so low for them? Why are you not demanding?
Oh, I shouldn't set the bar so low. I wouldn't say I sympathize with them. I didn't say they should not.
You are saying they are learning on the job. Or the
but that's a reality. That's facts.
So why are you setting the bar low? I mean,
no, I didn't set the bar low.
When we put people into power, we elect them, we expect, something big from them.
When the government took over, if anybody can go back to my videos, when Jefferson Koji was appointed, I was the first person that started criticizing it.
So how long is this sympathy going to last?
I will always have sympathy for people. I will always have sympathy for you. Always put yourself in people's shoes to understand where they are.
Is there any sympathy?
Not that you don't want them to do the right thing.
Is there any sympathy for Henry Pedro Costa?
Oh, yes, I do have sympathy for Henry Pedro Costa.
Okay.
My sympathy for Henry Costa is he has found himself under tremendous pressure to prove to the people that he's tough. And because he has to prove to his followers that he's tough, he does things beyond the ball. And that is going to diminishing. He is his own nemesis. If Costa is destroyed, it is because of Henry.
I will certainly agree with that, and I'm on record for saying that. I will certainly agree with Mr. Jerue, and this is what I say so. Henry is one person who is gifted when it comes to communicating. He's not limited with words. Costa does not have to insult anybody to be effective at getting his message across. But for some reason, this brother will always use insult. That is my greatest disappointment in him. Let's look at DeLon. DeLon is on the back of the government. DeLon is not insulting anybody.
He's not insulting anybody.
But because people who support the government know that DeLon is on this government back, they go after him. And I'm disappointed in him for that.
You said it all, and that's exactly my point here.
Right.
Costa cannot measure himself to Prophet Key. That man is a half of an intelligent person. Costa is more intelligent than people like Costa Prophet Key.
Yeah.
Prophet Key calls somebody man, you call somebody man. Prophet Key calls somebody pa, you call somebody pa. What sets you apart from people like Prophet Key?
Yeah.
Prophet Key is a rot maggot in our system that we need to flush out. But we can't flush it out because he's part of us. And you follow that kind of. Let me just tell you one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
We need a Costa for the government of Liberia to be on its feet.
Yeah.
We need a Martin Colley. We need a Yeke Koluba. We need a DeLong. But we don't need people who will teach our younger generation how not to respect women. Can you imagine? 4 days ago, Costa addressed Josephine Koge and talk about this woman as if he knows this woman, and discuss the woman in a very denigrating manner. What did Josephine Koge did to him? He could have criticized the woman without saying all of the things he said.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel for him. I feel for him. I sympathize with him.
Mr. Ja.
He does not.
I don't want to agree with the two of you because you're talking about style. Not that I agree. Not that I'm siding with any opposition or political figure or any government figure, but here's the thing. Costa has something that is working for him. And so he has a different style compared to, say, A.B. Darius DeLong. And that is working for him. He's getting the numbers. He's getting people behind him. He's able to rally maybe 20,000 persons. So why should he change from what is working?
Mr. Ja, you are playing the devil advocate so well,
but don't fix it.
That doesn't make it. That does not make it right, Mr. Ja.
I'm not talking right or wrong. I'm talking politics. Costa
I know you're talking politics, and I'm saying that way of politicking is wrong. You don't have to insult people. I criticize Trump. You have issue with Trump for the way he does business politically, and we should be able to point it out. And that is what we are doing. And we are saying, Costa is not limited with words. He did not need to do it that way.
No, I don't think you can tell a politician how to run.
I agree with that. I just happen to disagree.
Let me just come in a little bit.
Trump did this. He won an election, and with his abrasive style,
yeah,
he's getting the numbers, he's getting the following, and people like him.
Mr.
So I think if he changed from being like that, he may lose his followers.
Mr. Ja,
I'm just thinking.
Mr. Ja, let me just say this.
Yeah.
Everyone that goes to Costa show does not mean they like him. I go there to listen to him. I listen to him to see the bad part of him and talk about it. Does that mean I like him? The people that go there, they don't go there because they like him. They go there to see what kind of man he is. Why do people go to Prophet Key place? Because they want to know the kind of man he is. Not everybody that go there like him. And a politician, you must have moral compass. You are an example of people who follow you. What example will you show if you have a bunch of children, a bunch of young people following you, you're cussing people man? Are you teaching the children how to cuss people man? That's not style. That's below the belt. That's unintelligible. That is very uncouth, and that is a problem.
Final question.
That's the word from Mr. Gibson Jerue describing the popular talk show host, Mr. Henrique Pedro Costa.
Final question. And I can't let you go without, because maybe you talk about it. I have not been fortunate to hear you about on this particular subject. The gentleman is Momba Molu, and he is the chair of the ruling coalition for democratic change, the Audio League, and we heard him saying some big things. At the end of it all, he said that was liquor talk. Do you agree that was liquor talk?
I don't even know why he's still chairman. I don't know why he's still chairman. He should be suspended from that position. There's nothing like liquor talk. That talk that I heard, it was not that no liquor was dropping out of it. That talk was sober. That was his way of getting to the president. And that is not a position of a man of that stature. He is the chairman of the party that has the manifesto of the operation of government. The manifesto of the party is what the government is using to run this government. He is the one, the custodian, and you go and speak so vilely and say the damning thing about your president. You said the president goes out there, get project, get money from there and transfer it into his personal use. And you want to come back and say that liquor talk and we should accept you. I don't even know why the people still having a chairman. Molba Molu is a very good friend of mine. But this is reprehensible It's very reprehensible, but you know why they didn't take it from that? Fear. The fear that maybe Molba has a lot of supporters in the CDC. When they move in, they will lose support. If the CDC is based on one individual, I'm so sorry, then they are on broken stake. But the CDC must be based on institution. And some of these days, when some of us decide to join CDC or to join ANC, those are the kind of messages we want to go put there. We want to preach. Do not base the party on one individual. If that one individual leaves, another person who has never been strong will pop up. Because that person is there, everybody else are covered. But when that person leaves, another person will come up who might be stronger than the other one. Moluba Molu should have been out of there, but it's already done now. They already reconcile. He hosts, retreat and all of that. So I don't think he's going to be removed.
And are you buying that retreat stuff? Is the party reconciling your opinion?
Retreat is intended to remove Dara Delon. Why else?
Yeah, that's why it is. But let me give a follow up, Mr. Jai. I want to make my follow up here.
Let's close this, man.
Yeah, we have to close it, but I have to make the follow up. And Mr. Jerue, you spoke very eloquently on that, looking at Mamba Molu, what he said, that he was sober. Another way to look at it is that this man, with his connection with WIA as party chairman, will say this. Doesn't that speak to the fact that he's tired of the wrongs that are going on in the party?
Resign.
Okay.
You can be tired with the wrong and go and denigrate the president in the public. Resign. And go to somewhere else and talk about it. Say, I resign because this is what the president was doing. But if you want to be the chairman, then you have to learn how to speak in-house. You cannot, even if I don't support the president or support the president, you cannot take your president into the street undressing. Let everybody see his naked there. Then you come back and say, I was tired of all that why I said this. Are you kidding? Could he have done to another president? I tell people, and this is one thing I want to say today on your show. Mm-hmm. There is no president in Liberia ever. There's no president that you can compare with George Weah on tolerance. The kind of tolerance George Weah has, if this tolerance was not in him, we have lost a lot of opposition people. People who challenge the Martin Colley, he will lie. They try to put me in a pickup. They are run away. They eat all kinds of stuff. People not running behind them. They say people running behind them. George Weah, they
were you there to know that nobody was running behind them?
I mean, nothing,
all right,
man.
All right, Mr. Jerue,
the same the men say the poor try to catch you at the rendezvous. I was there. I usually go there every night.
All right.
Martin here.
All right.
I mean, honest, it's not fair to anyone to lie. We shouldn't lie. Let's say the fact. Our people are wise. Mm-hmm. They will follow the truth. They will follow the facts. Mm-hmm. But if you lie, you get a bad impression, and that's what brought the war, because people lie. Samuel Doe did not get the kind of person I am, who will speak to the opposition and say you are lying. If I were living, if we had social media during Samuel Doe time, probably Ellie them would not have succeeded. But they succeeded because when they said the lies, nobody else could debunk it the way I'm debunking these people. All right. So they succeeded. But now it would have to be a fight for them to kind of lie to us and lie to our people and have their way. I'll be there, and I'll be the checkpoint for them.
All right, Mr. Jerue, again, we can't thank you enough for always honoring our invitation. And we will always reach out to you because we are all in this business. And informing our people and debating the issues is what we must do for the love of country. And we will always reach out to you. We want to say thank you for honoring our invitation. Let's get your parting statement, please.
Thank you very much. You guys are.
Mr. Jerue,
something?
Yeah, there's an accusation here because Simeon Wright, because I know him personally, he said, Gibson, you were a protege to Due. I think they are talking about George Due. Because, I want to bring that up because I think this is the second time your association with George Due has been mentioned. So wrap that up in your closing comment.
Let me say this to Liberian people today. If that same opportunity that came in 1990, that opportunity come, as old as I am, I would take gun to go and fight. Until then, let nobody even think about it. I attempt to fight. The first attempt, I was living in Jalatown, my mother, myself. I went to go to recruit, to go to shuffling, to go fight. My mother held me. She brought me down from the pickup. The second time she was in the barrel before she left to go Sierra Leone. Chris Farley. Chris Farley is a personal friend of mine. He came and brought me the AK and the uniform and said, Mama, let's go. I was on my way. They told my mother, she ran behind me and hold me down. We fell down the ground. And Chris told me, Gibson, and she said, don't go, don't go. The third time I tried to go fight was 1998, when Charles Taylor invaded Ken Johnson Road. I was in Ghannasville running a high school there. And I penetrated, went in the barrack to go and fight. And my sister, Teresa, she was the last person. She held me and she was crying. And from that time, I never made any attempt again. I love to have fought. I love to have killed the rebels. I love to have put bullet in their brain because they were killing our people unnecessarily. The people burn me with cigarettes. They almost killed me. My friend Siliki Trawale, journalist Siliki Trawale, saved my life. And I wanted to go fight and kill those people too. But today, they come about George. I don't even know who he called. I fled with George Dwyer. I never fled with George Dwyer. I used to go to Prince Johnson and buy Margaret. I don't know how many of you are in Morovia. I used to leave the barrack, take the poor money from the barrack, go to Prince Johnson area, buy Margaret, bring it, give it to them, take other poor money and go. I almost died. The poor collected me. They set me down. They didn't tell me. I can't lie. They set me down for 2 hours and took all the money from me. And I still went there until the war was over. If I wanted to fight, if God wanted me to fight, I'm going to fight. They were not going to say so. And when I'm going to fight, I'm going to be wicked. I'm going to be wicked. There's Samuel Ryman talking about. If I'm going to see into the gate, I'm going to tabe him. Wow. So you shouldn't lie on me. If you lie on me, you are wasting your time. Everybody in Liberia, all the journalists in Liberia know I never fight. I don't know about gun. I never shoot one gun before. So they want to go and say, let them say it. But if you want me to fight, let them start another war just now. That's why I say when Costa carried war to Liberia, you must just say there's a General Gibson. In fact, my name will not be General Gibson. My name will be General Nyangbe. The day Costa carried war to Liberia, my name will be General Nyangbe. And I have the better way to do so.
Mr. Jerue,
my skin.
Mr. Jerue, I want to thank God so much for your mother and your sister who were persistent in holding you down not to join the war. That war was not a good war. I know where you're coming from on this. No one should take pride in joining any war, and I hope that we will not go into war, and I don't want to see any General Nyambe, because the General White I saw in Sano County, he was ruthless. We can't go back to that. On that note, Mr. Jerue, we want to say thank you. Mr. Dennis Jai, close us so I can put our closing song.
I want to thank Mr. Jerue for availing himself. You know, this was Mr. CA. You know, this was a difficult decision for management to decide to bring Mr. Jerue to talk about the citizenship of other Liberian citizens.
Yeah.
But because we did not want to be seen as going after other people's citizenship, but we evaluated that it is not hate speech. And so we allow it to happen so that you can express what you feel about other Liberians, and we give them the opportunity to come and counteract or rebut whatever you are saying. And so we at Focus on Liberia, we are very thankful that you came, and we are proud to be the platform so that other Liberians can hear from you and hear your side of the story. Now it is in the public domain. There's an issue that we can debate. There is no issue off the table for us to discuss as Liberians. So we should be able to come together and discuss. As Dr. Formula said, our mouth is not gone. It's better we talk than to go fight. So we want to thank you. I want to thank all our listeners. We are sorry this was so, as Mr. Sia would say, juicy. We couldn't open the phone line because
I was thinking, well, you're not going to play one caller said because
yeah. So the callers, our back room told us that things were getting out of control, so they didn't set things up properly for the call lines. But we want to appreciate all our viewers. Sorry we're not able to read all your comments, but we love you all and thank you for the support. Tomorrow is our Everywhere Marketplace where we talk business and finance. This Sunday we're going to have at 2 p.m. Deputy Press Secretary Smith Toby. He's going to be here to give us the press briefing of what's going on, especially with COVID-19, the stimulus package, the SOE enforcement, and all the 9 years and everything in between. Then at 6 o'clock, we're going to come back to educate our people, especially K through 12, about some lesser known influential figures in Liberia. We know about the president and we know about the big people. Have you heard about Chief Swakoko? You may have not. We're going to package that for you tomorrow to bring on Sunday to bring you all the lesser known influential Liberians, people that help to shape the history of our dear country. Mr. Sia?
And
Can I just
also,
say one
Mr.
thing
Ja,
before?
and also,
Can
Mr.
I say
Ja.
one thing before I leave?
Okay.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah,
This is
quickly.
going to. This
Mhm.
is going. I wrote an article about Costa and his mother. I made a vow on my show that I was never going to go to Costa's mother. Costa's childhood friend sent me a lot of information because he and Costa used to sleep to his mother's place. And you don't know who hit you until something starts. And I decided not to use any of those. The pictures, the this, the that. But Costa, if the attack dogs continue to personalize the issue, if they continue to attack me or attack my wife, I can guarantee you I will go dirtier and lower and lower. So this is a warning. I don't want to do that again. I promise I will never go to Costa's mother. I need to respect the dad and the woman.
Right,
But if they continue to attack me and my wife, then they risk Costa because I'm not going to go to them. I'm going to go to Costa. They are fighting for Costa. I don't fight two wars. I fight one war at a time. Identify my target and go towards it. So I don't want it to happen. So since they are here listening, stop attacking my wife and myself. Otherwise, you will risk all the attack on Costa. And I'm equal to the attacks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I thought I will not do that again until I see another personal attack. Then I will erase my promise and I will go on and do what I want to do. But for now, I repent. I will not attack Costa mother. I will raise the issue. I will discuss the legal issue. That's what matters. Costa mother doesn't matter in this situation. I want to just say that for everybody so they can know. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Jerue.
You are repentant right here on Focus on Liberia. Mr. I want you to react to this. Mr. Samuel Sonda is a guy who I respect so much. He said we refused to take calls because we wanted to protect Mr. Jerue. Mr.
I can give you 30 minutes. I can give you 30 minutes
Mr.
if you want to call.
Mr. Jerue, Mr. Sonda, that is not true. Mr. Asuni, from our back room, the call should have been set up, but we couldn't set the call up because someone came from work late. So, Mr. Asuni, that's your call.
And to that person, we want to apologize. It was not intentional. Usually, we set the phone line before we go live. That way, during the broadcast, we can run into any technical problem. We ourselves would have loved to hear from you because you, the callers, add value to the show. If you don't listen to us, we would not be here. And so that was not intended. You saw us asking Mr. Jerue the tough questions. We are telling Mr. Jerue to repent. I will tell Mr. Jerue to not attack Costa's mother. Costa's mother, Costa's grandmother, even Costa's father has nothing to do with this. He has picked this fight. I can say that because he started it and let him take Costa on. It's fair game because Costa is a politician and he, Mr. Jerue, is in this business as well. We want to tell you also that tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we are having a special. Mr. George Preston Lobo will be here at Focus on Liberia, and we will be dissecting the President SOE, that is a state of emergency, and its enforcement, and also will be breaking down the stimulus package. 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss it. We will be here. On that note, we want to say thank you for watching us here at Focus on Liberia. We educate, we elevate, we promote all things Liberia. This video will be on YouTube in the next 2 hours for you to watch. Thank you, Mr. Jerue, for honoring our invitation. Thank you also for our viewers. That will do it for us here. Stay safe out there. COVID-19 is still real. And bye-bye.
We are Liberians. Welcome to Mrs. America.
be Liberia.